What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Lex Luthor Power Suit from Justice League, the Darkseid Wars. And so here we have Darkseid War Lex Luthor pose and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. The God King Lex does come with his throne, which is a really nice accessory. I am happy that McFarlane was able to throw it in there. And then he comes with the McFarlane display base. Other than that, the God King Lex does not come with any other accessories. No alternate hands on this version, unfortunately. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Lex Luthor. So here we have a closer look at Lex Luthor, and this is when he is infected with the Darkseid entity. You can see he is starting to take on characteristics of Darkseid, especially in the face and the crown. Really nice looking figure, but I do have to stress that this is on, I want to say 85 to 90% reuse of a figure we've already gotten. This is mostly the exact same mold of the Lex Luthor in the power suit, and it's not a bad mold by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a very uninspired mold for this particular version of the character, and I'll explain why. For starters, we do have a really nice head sculpt. I do like the fact that McFarlane took the time to sculpt a Lex Luthor head with Darkseid characteristics that actually looks good. If we can just reach off camera really fast to bring in the Mattel version, which looked okay. It still looks like Lex Luthor. I think this one is more further along in the Darkseid transformation. So I really do like the head sculpt on this, and I do like the helmet or the crown that you see on him. Very Darkseid inspired, and I really do like that. It's a very, very nice looking piece. And it is done in that marbleized blue plastic, so it does have somewhat of a metallic look to it, but you can also see the swirls in the plastic, which I'm okay with. It's not something that I'm really particularly fond of, but at the same time I don't hate it. So having a look at the rest of the figure, the things that stand out about this Lex Luthor is he is from the Rebirth series, in which he did take up the mantle of Superman, and you can see he is wearing Superman inspired armor. The S-Shield right here is an homage to Superman. Now in the comics he does have a red cape which belonged to the New 52 Superman, and I think they did a good job with the S-Shield. It's not 100% to the Man of Steel, but it does look like it did in the comics, so I do like that. Now, one thing I have to criticize about this figure is it's blue. I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but Darkseid Lex, or God King Lex, whatever you want to call him, had a lot more color than just blue and some red here and there. Yeah, he should have some yellow, or not yellow, but some white markings right here where you can see these little L's and these backwards L's. Those should be white. It kind of like produces light. It should almost be like that. And you can see there it's not even painted. It is sculpted, but it's not painted. Also, his undersuit should be gray. I don't know why they just went with a blue, but the undersuit that you see right here where the lines are going through, that should be gray. It's not supposed to be in blue. Now, for the most part, we have seen this body before. It's the exact same as a power suit Lex. Just the chest piece is completely different, as well as the collar piece. It's more representative of the God King Lex, although the shoulder pads are completely inaccurate. If you're going to go full-on Darkseid Lex, he should have some spikes on his shoulder pads, which, as you can see, this Lex does not have it, which makes me wonder if McFarlane is just going to give us a Rebirth Lex Luthor with this exact same mold. It is a possibility, and it's not out of the realm of things McFarlane wouldn't give us. But the back of the body, we've seen it before. The back, the abdomen piece is from the same power suit Lex. Same thing with the arms, with the exception of these coverings. These coverings are completely new to this Lex Luthor, but the hands are the same, the body's the same, so everything on this figure is the exact same. And again, very uninspired, because again, it's just painted or cast in this blue plastic. There should be some gray to the undersuit, which this figure doesn't do a good job of replicating. If anything, I think all this should have been gray, and down here could have also been gray, and it's just a missed opportunity by McFarlane. And dare I say, Mattel did a better job with the Rebirth Lex Luthor, and it's not really something I want to admit, but yeah, Mattel did do a better job in painting and sculpting Rebirth Lex Luthor, which is honestly surprising, which you will see a comparison in a little bit. It's still a very nice sculpt. I just don't feel like it's the sculpt that should have been used for a Darkseid Lex here. The head sculpt is still much better than the Mattel version, but as far as the paint job goes, let me actually bring it out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There is grays and reds and gunmetals here that is not present on this figure, and you can see what I mean about those white marks on the chest. Very, very interesting that McFarlane would omit all that and just give us I want to say half-assed figure, because there's so much that could have been done to make this figure so much better. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get the God King Lex compared to other characters you may have in your collection. And so here we have Darkseid Wars Lex Luthor posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Darkseid Wars Lex Luthor posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure in a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Lex Luthor posed next to a Lightning Collection White Range in a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have Darkseid Wars Lex Luthor posed next to the New 52 Lex Luthor. And finally, here we do have the McFarlane Toys Darkseid Wars Lex Luthor posed next to the Mattel Darkseid Wars Lex Luthor. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Lex Luthor's articulation. Now, Lex Luthor does have your standard McFarlane Multiverse articulation. He has the exact same articulation as a Power Suit Lex, except his shoulders aren't as limited. He does have a ball joint here at the head, which does let him look up. He can look down quite a bit. Get some really nice side tilt there, then he can turn left and right, and as you would expect, because his collar doesn't come up over his head as much, you do get better range out of his head. His shoulders are on ball joints, so they do pivot back and forward, up and down work no problem, go out to the side to about right there, and you can see the shoulder pad does get out of the way, does a full 360 because this is a very soft piece. I do like that. We have a bicep swivel, double bend at the elbow. We have a ball hinge at the wrist, which does go forward and back. Then we can rotate that to have up and down, and then it rotates on that peg. He does have a ball joint here at the torso, which doesn't go forward. It goes back a little bit, and some side to side tilt as well as rotation. Then we have another ball joint here at the waist, which goes back about that far, comes forward about that far. Does rotate as well as pivot to the side really nicely. Legs do kick forward all the way up, which is good for his seating poses. He can kick back, out to the side, no problem. Swivel at the thigh, really nice swivel here. McFarlane is starting to add swivels to their figures. Then we do have a double bend here at the knee. We have rotation at the foot, a hinge in the ankle which goes up and down, forward facing pin for rocker ankle. We can rotate that joint entirely to give him a true rocker ankle, and then we have a toe hinge. So overall, pretty decent articulation here on Lex Luthor. It's nothing we haven't seen, but it does work for the figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Lex posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so finally, here we do have the McFarlane Toys Darkseid Lex Luthor pose for my final thoughts, and overall this is an okay looking figure. Don't get me wrong, the amount of detail on his power suit is really impressive. I do like it. The detailing is very nice. I'm just not a fan of the all blue costume. This costume is not supposed to be all blue. There's supposed to be some grays, there's supposed to be some reds, and this figure just doesn't do a very good job of capturing the look of Lex Luthor when he's infected by Darkseid. Now the face is miles above the Mattel version. I think this is a much better looking figure, but in terms of aesthetically pleasing, that Mattel one just has more colors going for it, and you gotta give them props. Mattel was doing some things right toward the end of the line, and that Lex Luthor was one of the better things, and this version of Lex Luthor, though very nice and does come with a throne, I feel McFarlane missed the mark because they could have done so much more with this costume. They could have given us a cloth cape, they could have given us some more variety in the plastic, giving him some grays, some blues, some red accents as he's supposed to have. But as you can see, there's really not much going on for this Lex Luthor, and that's pretty much a shame because this is a very nice looking figure. I would have liked to see what this figure would look like with some of those grays painted on. I'm pretty sure that would make this figure look much better than the Mattel version, but unfortunately this is all we have to deal with, and it is a little bit lackluster. I do love the throne. The throne is probably the selling point of this figure, but they could have done a lot more with it, and unfortunately guys, I really don't see people being crazy about this figure unless you're picking up the throne. And it is surprising that this version of Lex doesn't come with a mother box. It was an important piece during the Darkseid War, and I'm really surprised that McFarlane did not include a mother box with this figure. There's a lot of things going on with this figure that I just don't understand why they did it, but for $20 I still think this is a very nice figure, especially because the throne he comes with is a pretty decent size and it looks good, especially when you have him sitting in it. I think that makes the figure stand out really nicely. So if you are looking for the Darkseid Wars Lex Luthor, you will have to try to find him at your local Walmarts, Targets, Amazon.com, Big Bad Toys, or Entertainment Earth, wherever you pick up figures. He is starting to ship out now at the time we're making this video, so be on the lookout for the God King Lex Luthor, and if you can find him and you're a fan of this particular design, you can go ahead and add him to your collection. With that being said guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other DC McFarlane Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time guys, I'll see you later. Take care everyone.